That is what I'm talking about, guys. Welcome back to the channel, y'all. So, it is Saturday. Look at it. We're getting a little rain. And we're planning on going on a run here. We're getting some scattered rain, so we will see. I'm gonna wait a few minutes. I literally have this skinny shirt on as well. We're gonna try to break a PR today on the Riverwalk. So we'll talk about that when. On the Saturday, got sweat in my eyes, but now, man, fucking stoked about that, honestly. Just another win that's going to carry over into what I do today. It's going to carry over into my conversation. It's going to carry over into my work. So definitely feels freaking good to get a PR on this beautiful Saturday. And it was tough as always. The first couple miles are always the toughest, but liking this stuff. Let's get you guys some drone shots, honestly.
Home point updated.
I love making a promise to myself and then hitting it. Feels great. Like I said, it's gonna transfer over. But I actually did decide I am going to stretch to hit the gym, stretch, maybe 10, 20 minutes of the sauna real quick and then cold shower and then hurry up, get back home. The rest of this is gonna be pretty boring. I might do some talking segments, but really Saturday's recovery day, and because I have dinner with a friend, I need to get some videos and some editing done. So fairly boring there. But I will have some lessons, especially after I read. So I probably should explain to you guys a little bit about the structure of my running. As you can see, I keep mentioning PR in some of those videos. I've been posting it a little bit more on my Instagram. Essentially what I'm going to be doing with my running and kind of the protocol is I am running 3, 4, 5 times a week. Depends on how I'm feeling. All of the running stuff, guys, I don't really know anything about running, but all the running stuff I've looked into, or the hybrid training stuff I've looked into on YouTube from other people. They usually do longer runs on the weekend. So I am doing a longer run on the weekend, and I'm trying to beat a PR every single weekend. So if I just got 4.65 miles, hopefully I can get, 4.85 miles and slowly scatter myself up by breaking PRs every single weekend, which internally, subconsciously, it feels great, and I'm pushing my body in that way as well. Now I'm using my Saturdays after those runs as a mobility and kind of recovery day. I want to make sure I'm stretching, especially as my miles keep moving up. I'm not a very mobile person. My body is fairly tight. My calves, my hips get really tight after running, so I definitely need to put more of a focus on my mobility. So that's what I'm doing on those Saturdays and some of the days on my off days, making sure I'm stretching. And no, I am not including those as workouts. I am still getting another outdoor workout or another walk in
outside of that stretching, that is just complementing and just trying to make sure that I'm staying healthy as I keep kind of pushing myself a little bit harder, upping my miles a little bit more. So that is the structure of my running. I figure you guys should know that if you don't follow me on any of the other socials. I have been kind of keeping track of my running since January. I just literally started out, I'm just going to start running 1 mile and then been upping it from there. And now with 75 hard, I think it's going to be really good for me in general to just kind of try to break a PR every single week, push myself that way, and then do recovery or normal runs between 2.5 to 3.5 miles during the week. And then however my body feels, I can run more additional days if I would like, but that's how I'm structuring it. PRs on Saturdays, mobility and recovery days on Saturdays, seeing how my body feels the rest of the time, and that is how we are rocking with it. So there it is. All right, to cap off week 2, volume 2 of 75 hard is really just my knowledge bank. This is going to be a reminder not only to myself, because I've gone through this multiple times, but something for you to think about and to self-reflect on. And that is going to be, you are the only person or thing that is stopping you from getting results, from seeing success. And this is with everything. You are the one stopping you, right? This is a large part of 75 hard in the program. But the reason why I bring this up is because a mentor of mine just this past week had asked me, we're talking about building a community, building a proper mentorship or coaching program. And if you guys want, you can join my free school community. It's all about finance, credit, travel hacking, anything like that. If you're interested in that, it's completely free. You can feel free to join it and learn from there. But he had asked me this question. He goes, Zach, why do you think that most people do not have success or results when they invest into a program or a course? And my answer, which I was pretty confident with, was because I've been through this multiple times. I've been at fault of myself, is that people's mindsets, their habits, they are the ones that are stopping them from seeing the results. It's never really the information. Yes, you can join something and it can be pretty lackluster. But to be completely honest, the majority of things that I have joined, I've always learned something and I've always gained something from it. And the ones that I have gained the most perspective, the most insight, the most money, the most everything has always been when I have committed to it with intention. But for example, what I want to bring up is why I thought about this is there's a video on my channel that talks about different businesses I've tried. I, at one point, wanted to get an Amazon FBA. And when I got an Amazon FBA, I did it for a couple of months. I did not see much success with it. I made quite a few bad buy orders, things that didn't end up selling. I didn't do my proper due diligence. And what I did was I just ended up moving on to the next best thing, the next shiny object. The problem was not the business model. Yes, there's some things I don't necessarily like about the business model, but it's never the business model. It's never that specifically. It's always you putting in the effort over a long period of time and consistently doing it, which stops you from actually getting real freaking results. That is what I want you guys to think about and to really self-reflect on is how many times have you gotten in the way of seeing results? How many times have you gotten in the way of yourself of actually seeing and getting success out of something? And this involves fitness too. If you're just showing up to the gym, after a while, if you're used to working out, and working out becomes fun for you. But at some point, you're going to hit a plateau if you're not stressing yourself to lift heavier weights, if you're not pushing yourself in the gym to lift heavier weights, to get stronger. You have to progressively overload to actually see more results. You can't just show up and not push yourself harder. Same thing with running. If you want to run further or run faster, at some point you are going to have to do tempo runs where you run faster miles. You're going to have to run further miles. And that's exactly the same thing. It doesn't have to be just in business, but with fitness as well. People that are just getting into fitness, they're going to see faster results right away because they haven't stressed their body that much. Individuals, even like myself, who have worked out for 10 plus years, former athlete, I have to consistently stress myself, push myself harder, or change up my workouts and do that consistently for a period of time to actually see legitimate results. So it's the same way, whether it's business, life, or fitness, you have to push yourself harder. You have to stress your muscles, you have to stress your mind to get the feedback and the results that you're looking for. If you seriously want to change and you want to be completely different, you want to make more money, be better mentally, physically, right? In general, if you just want to progress as an individual, you're going to have to get rid of your old identity. You're going to have to get rid of your old habits. And the only way that you can do that is consistently showing up every single day, even when you don't want to. So when it comes down to it, I like to mention running because I'm currently going through running and I don't want to run every single time I do it. And there's a saying I always tell myself and I post about, which is the first mile is always the hardest. And that is because that first mile, that first mile and a half, you're constantly berating yourself. You're constantly filling yourself with that negativity. You don't have to run this much today. You can stop and walk it out. You don't have to run today. You can do it another time. You can do it another day. You don't feel good, but you have to show up. The only way that you can change your identity and change your habits is to consistently show up when you don't want to. When you're on that first mile, mile and a half, is to consistently flow positive stuff into your mind. Tell your stuff that it's easy. This is going to be fun. You have to change your mind frame. You have to change your paradigm. You have to tell yourself that you're not tired, you're not weak, that you're strong, you're capable, that you're able to do it. And the more times that you do that, the more you can affirm the ability to show up when you don't want to. The easier it becomes, the more times you show up, which is why it's so important with 75 Hard. This is not a 30-day weight loss program. This is not a lose all your fat in 14 days. That shit is a fallacy. That is not real. Anything from 75 days and longer is going to produce results. Now, the first time I did 75 Hard, I didn't feel the momentum. I didn't feel the progress until like day 50, day 55. It took that long for me to feel that type of confidence, to be able to feel like I was progressing. But I showed up every day and I got things done. And when you do that over a long period of time, you start to see results. I look back at my old photos and I noticed, every few weeks the actual progress that I was seeing in my body, but I didn't naturally see that on those days. I had to go back and check all the way from the start to the beginning. And then I recognized, holy crap, I made so much progress in those times where I felt like I was struggling and things were hard. If I leave you guys with anything, it is to try to get yourself out of your own way. Try to create a new identity. If you want to progress, if you want to be a respectable individual, if you want to be better than you were before, if you want to make more money, if you want to feel happier, if you want to be more grateful, if you want to see more progress in your job, in your career, you have to go through the hard shit. You have to put yourself through hard stuff and build that type of resilience. You have to build that grit. That's where discipline is created. That is where you become the person that you respect, the person that you trust, and that shows up when they need to. And that is why I like the program so much. And that is also why I'm reflecting on these times where I've gotten in the way of myself. And I think it's extremely valuable for many of you to take that along with you and to reflect on it and to understand that the hard stuff is what is going to build the discipline that you need to create the new identity that you want to fall into, to fill those shoes. You have to start becoming that person naturally, and you can't just do it completely overnight. I didn't try to run a marathon in 2 days. I'm building slow habits so that I can progress and see that progress and get big wins and build my mindset so that eventually I can do that. And we all need to start thinking in that type of way. which is take the small steps now, go through the hard shit now, because when that stuff comes later, you'll have the discipline and resilience to break through it, to get through it, and you'll be better on the other side. 6 months, a year from now, you're going to be so freaking stoked about where you're at for putting in the work that no one else was putting in. And so going through the hard stuff, getting out of your own way, building that mindset is going to pay dividends. As always, this is not only a reminder to myself, but hopefully a good lesson for you to try to implement in your own life in the way that you're currently, looking at things. And hopefully it helps you guys. So this will finalize week 2 of 75 hard. I'm excited to keep documenting the journey with you guys. Feel free to let me know in the comments what you guys want to see, if there's anything specific. I hope you guys really liked the video. Like, comment, subscribe, and keep showing up, and we'll talk soon.